Yo, what's good, y'all? Welcome back to Afro Wonders. So today we're going to do something a little different. Instead of talking about places that I've been or the cool things I've seen, I'm going to tell you about one of my horror travel stories. Yes, horror. So I feel like we always talk about all the luxurious sides of travel. If you go to people's IG pages, you'll see incredible pictures, all the cool things that you've done. Go to YouTube travel channels. Wink, wink. You'll see just the coolest sights in whatever location you've been, but I feel like we don't talk about the ugly side of travel enough, the horror stories. And there's a lot of small ugly things like airports and shit, but if people who travel that much, you've been through some shit. And if you're like me, you're gonna try some shit that's just not smart and will actually lead to a story like the one I'm about to tell you right now. This one's about a trip to the Mediterranean in Italy. And I also just like to tell stories. So with no further ado, it's story time. So I took a solo road trip around the heel of Italy. So I flew into Bari. And if you don't know what the heel of Italy is, it's like the southernmost part of it. It literally looks like a high heel. Like this is the heel. And I started in Bari and just made a whole road trip by myself. But at some point I stopped for a couple nights at the bottommost part of the heel, the southernmost point of Italy. It's called, what is it? San Luca di Maria, I think. Yeah, so it's the southernmost point, and it's where both the Ionian and the Adriatic Sea meet, right around it. That's a whole lot of sea. So because it's so much damn sea, I had to take a boat tour, and this boat tour is pretty dope. It's around the Ionian side, and you actually tour the grottos that are on the coast, on the cliffs. And if you don't know what grottos are, they're these beautifully naturally formed caves in the side of the cliffs. Some of them can be man-made, but I think these were naturally formed. And they were used in past times for a lot of different things, but now it's mostly just for sightseeing. And these in particular are like carved, in the side of these cliffs. And it's just beautiful. I mean, it's one of the most incredible things I've seen. You can only get to it through the boats. So anyways, I take this boat tour and, I gotta get on this boat and it's about, like maybe 11, 12 people, decent sized boat. But there are like 4 young bucks on there, 4 Italian dudes. They're maybe right around 20 and the rest are like families. So, and then there's me and I'm the only non-Italian because this is also in like July. It's not a super touristy area. I mean, I'm talking about COVID times, so not too many people. Anyways, it was a beautiful tour. The water's crystal blue all around. It's amazing. The cliffs are beautiful, the grottos. And every couple of feet, we'd stop and just look at one of these beautiful grottos. The tour guide would tell us cool things about it, blah, 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 blah. But of course, it wasn't in English, so to me, none of that really even happened. But anyways, I've become good friends, just, having fun with the young bucks on the boat and everybody, but young bucks in particular were having an amazing time, popping champagne, dancing, playing music, flirting with girls on other boats. I'm like, yeah, I'm trying to get in some of that, so I'm having fun too. And we get along pretty well. I even got a nickname, Numero Uno. I don't know what it means, but I like it. So anyways, we, one of the stops, tour guide stops at one of the grottos. We don't get too close, maybe like 50, 60 feet away. I'm not great with measuring distance like that, but around that. And, he anchors the boat and he's just like, or he stops it somehow. And he's just like, okay, guys, if you can swim, just jump out of the boat. You can swim right around it, just have a little splash, have a good time. If you know what you're doing, then you can swim all the way out to the grottos, which, like I said, is pretty far. But, I took swim classes when I was a kid. I ain't no stereotype. I know what I'm doing. So they anyways, he stops the boat, he asks everybody, they know how to swim. I'm like, hell yeah. Everybody jumps out, the families are swimming right around the boat. Young bucks, they like, fuck this. They jump in the water head first, and they just like, Zacarias, andiamo, andiamo, andiamo. I'm like, I don't know what that means, but mama ain't raised no bitch. So I dive in head first, and I'm gone. I'm right behind them. I'm watching them glide through. I'm doing that little breaststroke, or I can't remember what it's called. One of them strokes that, they taught me in like the second grade. So I'm killing it. I'm doing my thing. And and we're moving. It was such a beautiful thing. Like the view that I had of these dudes just getting it. And ahead of us is this grotto. Behind us is the boat and it's the rest of the ocean. And making some good progress. And I get about like halfway there, I'd say, when started losing my breath a bit. You know what I mean? It's like, ooh, I need to take a little break. So I stopped for a second. And, I'm just starting to like wade in the water a little bit. I'm like, them young bucks are just forging ahead. I'm like, hey, y'all get it. I'll see y'all on the other side. And I'm wading a little bit. Just floating, staying afloat. And I'm just realizing like, shit, I'm in the middle of the ocean. Like, just trying to stay afloat here takes a lot of energy. So I'm like, I can't just stay in place. So I'm like, all right, fuck it. Start swimming again towards the grotto. About like 10, 15 seconds later. Now, like, really don't have breath. I'm just like, oh shit. Okay, I'm good. You gotta remember, man, like, it's COVID times, gyms are closed, so I ain't got my stamina like that. It's COVID and shit. I got the technique. So, anyways, man, I'm at that point, I look back at the boat. I'm like, I might have to head back. But like, I'm like more than halfway the other way now. So it's like, I must have to swim further to get back to the boat than I do to go to the caves. These dudes are like still on the way, not looking back. And then I look back at the boat, tour guide's not looking at us. Like, why would he look at us? We confidently swam out. He's like, y'all good? He's just chilling, talking to the people, the families around the water, the smart people. And so I'm just, at that point, I'm like, all right, this is it. I'm pretty sure this is it. So I do one thing that I know how to do. I just like kind of float on my back and I'm just floating in the water. And I'm getting a little direction, like trying to head towards the grottos a little bit. But every time I look back up, I'm like, damn, I'm still in the same place. And I was just like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm hopeless. So I'm just gonna like float on my back until somebody just sees this piece of cardboard floating in the ocean and realizes that it's not cardboard. So, anyways, I was pretty sure that was it for me, because whenever I got back down, then I couldn't even stay afloat. So I was like, I gotta stay on my back. I really do. So I was like, all right, this is it. And it's been a good life. I really enjoyed it. This is a great way to go out, sadly. But then a miracle happened. I look up and there's another boat doing a grotto tour, and it's much closer. I don't see many people on it, but I did see two people on it that jumped off the boat and they're swimming towards the grottos. There was a couple. There was a guy and a girl, probably like upper 20s it looked like. And to me, they just looked like biblical characters. They just were swimming towards me, and I could see the halos around their head. They're just like, I'm like, yes, Lord Jesus, save me. I'm not even religious. I'm just like, Jesus. And they get close and they see me. I'm waving my hands at this point. I'm like, fucking full panic mode. And they just like, I see it in their faces. I see like the transition of their look. Like they look at me first like, oh God. And then next, like I see it change to, oh shit, I think he's dying. Let's go do something. So then they swim to me, and man, I'm happy as hell. I'm just like, yo, this is gonna be it for me. These are my saviors. And they come to me. Remember the girl was like, hey, are you okay? I'm like, like, do you need help? I'm like, like, okay, where do you need to go? Where are you going? They kind of grabbed me a little bit, and I'm like, yeah, that way. And there's a boat. They're just like, oh, okay, cool. God, we got you. You're okay. Don't worry. I'm just like, oh yeah. Okay, I can breathe again. The girl like hooks my arm. I think the guy hooks her arm. And through some type of magic, I don't know, we just start to float. We're just gliding. Like, I don't see their legs moving. I don't see them stroking with their arms. I'm just like, I don't know what's going on, but I just took the next like 60 seconds of my life, most blissful of my life. And I just take that time to really appreciate what's going on around me. I mean, it was really an incredible time. Like, I got a chance to really just get the view, swim along the water without the effort. And yeah, it was incredible. I even looked up at them, and I swear I saw the auras, the golden auras around their head and halos and all. I'm just like, take me to the promised land. and yeah, it was all beautiful until I looked up at our boat, my boat, and I just see all the families and the tour guide staring at me, staring at us, just like, this nigga. They're just looking at me like, oh shit, that sucks. It just, that was kind of embarrassing. I mean, that was like total humiliation, because I'm just like, damn, yeah. I jumped out there like I knew what I was doing. And now I'm getting carried back. And yeah, I could just see like the families were laughing, like the kids were laughing. Like, ha ha. And the parents, they're like talking to their kids like, don't be like this dude. Don't be like that dude, okay? and the tour guide, his face was just pure disgust, just disdain, just like, damn, man. It's like the police bringing your kids home, you know what I mean? Like, and when we got back to the boat, the guy, they were pretty much just like, does this belong to you? And yeah, I climb back on the boat. I'm just like, hey y'all, thanks for saving my life. Real casual, you know, I'm just like, appreciate it. And I get on the boat, look back, you know, everybody's like being quiet, but I know what they're thinking. The tour guide, he's just like, thought you could swim. What happened to them? It's like, yeah, whatever. I don't care about you. And yeah, so I made it back on the boat. You know, the young bucks came back eventually a few minutes later, and they're just like, Zacarias, where were you? I'm just like, man, you know, I just got tired. You know what I mean? I wanted some snacks, so I came back. And I mean, immediately after that, the tour guide said something in Italian to them. Pretty sure he dimed me out, a little snitch. But it wasn't in English, so it didn't happen to me. Yeah, so that was pretty much my story. And then we made it back, and I lived to tell the story, lived to fight another day and go for another travel. I've had a lot of missteps along the way of traveling, a lot of ugly stories, and I plan to tell them to you guys. You know, you probably don't need to go through something like that to learn from it, because you're smarter than me. You probably already know not to do something like that. But, you know, if you do, hopefully it'll help you in some way or another, even if it's just entertainment. And yeah, wanted to get vulnerable with y'all for a bit, and I'm gonna tell more stories in the future. Don't be like me. That's generally the moral of every story I tell. But do as I say, not as I do. So, yeah, man, I hope y'all enjoyed it. If y'all want to get vulnerable in the comments, you know, tell me a story of yours, a horror travel story, because everybody has one that's traveled enough. Other than that, you can also just comment just whatever you think about the story. Just, you know, I really appreciate when you guys talk in the comments section and we can communicate. You can bond a little better. So, other than that, man, I appreciate it. I hope y'all enjoyed watching. If you'd like to hit that thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed already, subscribe, share it with somebody. And yeah, other than that, I'm going to see y'all in the next one. All right, y'all. Peace.